At the Olympic trials, that was when I peaked at my performance. Like all the training that I did leading up to the event was to peak at that time to have my best performance on those days. And it didn't really hit me how well I was doing until maybe the last 10 shots of the match, where everyone was looking at me and it's like, wow, I just did this. This is so cool. And then when I got off, everyone was congratulating me. And it didn't really actually hit me until Keith and I were driving home later that night. And we were just discussing, trying to figure things out, because we didn't really think about what was going to happen afterwards. We said we're just going to focus on what's simple. We're going to do well at this match, and we'll just see what happens. And then when it happened, everything changed. I got to reschedule my whole summer. 2 days later, after getting back from the trials, I had to turn around and go to France for training camp. So that was pretty awesome. So it's cool. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm so stoked. And yeah, in the past it was kind of like, oh wow, I'm doing well, and it was just kind of a surprise. But with the training and the way I structured it, it went exactly according to plan. It's exactly how I visualized it. Everything was on call. Everything was doing what it was supposed to do, and it felt good. It wasn't surprising. It wasn't like, oh wow, I'm getting like a thing, like I was excited, but I wasn't anxious, or I didn't get any anxiety from the performance. It was like, wow, I'm doing cool. I'm doing all this sweet stuff. I was a lead performer every single day. I mean, it was like, wow, I planned this, and it was cool. It was a great feeling. About a year ago, I didn't have a very good performance at the national championships, so I said I'm going to work on learning more about the sport, trying to figure out what to do with dealing with pressure, anxiety, mental management, that kind of thing. And I started investing heavily in that. Come around December, at the first part of the air gun trials, I did really well. I ended up second overall, and that allowed me to go to Bangkok. And it didn't actually hit me like, wow, this is tangible. I can do this, until after Keith and I were flying back to the United States. Like, wow, this is a dream. This is something that I can actually achieve. This is cool. And then after the semester ended and I started up my internship, I was in here every night from 7 to 11 training, and I was like, I'm going to make this work. This is what I'm going to do. My dad's in the military. We moved around a lot, and we were moving back from Norway, and my parents said, hey, pick a sport. And rifle was the thing that I saw on my high school's athletic page. Like, wow, this is interesting. And when I went to the interest meeting, there's this old Southern Alabama man who was giving a really good talk, and he said, boys, girls, come down, shoot with us for the next 3 weeks, every Saturday at the NRA headquarters at 6 in the morning, and you'll find something that's great. And I went down there, I participated, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I'm going to try it for a year. Parents bought me equipment, and at the end of my freshman year in high school, I was the worst shooter on my team, so I said, I'm going to get better at this. I like this. This is neat, and it's a unique sport, and I want to do better at it, and the rest is history. Going to my first international training camp, they collected a bunch of different teams from around Europe and overseas. There was 12 teams that were represented there, and I got to shoot against some of the best people in the world. I got to shoot next to the previous gold medalist in air rifle, so that was pretty neat to get that perspective. And a lot of that was just connecting with people, getting an idea, sharing, bonding with the other teammates. There's only 2 men going for my event, and I was rooming with him, so I got to bond with him a lot, Dan Lowe. For the specific training, I got to just focus on either fundamentals or technical stuff. I was able to pull from a whole nother set of, just a whole nother perspective, different skill sets, stuff like that. It's just, it's very different. And plus, I was able to, there's no limits on training. I could be out there and train all day. I guess the big thing is just time management. Being a student athlete, just in NCAA athletics, you have got to be diligent. You got to be on point all the time. Just make sure all your academics are sorted, that you're eating all the time, sleeping enough, performing the best you can in athletics, and just using the time that's given to me every single day to do the best in every single thing. It's like I spend all my time when I'm studying to study. I'm spending all my time when I'm shooting to shoot and to focus. If I'm eating and enjoying my time with my friends. If I'm going out to have fun, I'm there having fun. I just kind of separate everything and focus on each thing, one piece at a time.
You mentioned Bangkok and Luxembourg. Where else is rifle taking you internationally?
I went to Granada, Spain for World Championships 2 years ago in 2014. Where it's taking me this year is I'm going to be participating in national championships with NC State. A couple of us are going down there to compete. A few days after that, I'm going to Hanover, Germany for another training camp. I'm going to be out there for 10 days. And then going to come back, going to go to Alabama to train with a couple other teams, and then we're going to go to Rio, so that'll be cool. And there's other opportunities to shoot too, like we can go shoot in Germany, we can go shoot in India. There's also the Pan American Games, the CAT Games, rifles of sport and those things, so we can go all up in, I mean, we can go almost any country. As far as like the other countries, Italy, the Chinese, a bunch of Eastern European countries, they're very good at that sport, or that particular event, and they are rock solid. They're shooting those Olympic scores every single time, and the window to get to the final, to just have the opportunity to medal, is going to be a millimeter, just from the target. It's going to be very hard, but it's not impossible. I mean, you hear all those stories about people who were the worst and they worked hard and they did it. It happens. That's what's cool about it. It's like, wow, I did this. I did what other people have done, and it's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of techniques. There's a lot of practice that we do as individuals and as a team that that is almost required to do well. When I try to describe to people what the sport's like, I use my phone, I bring up pictures, I show them, I get up and I encourage them to do the same things I do, and I draw pictures. And the biggest thing is the center, to get the maximum amount of points, we need to hit something that is the point of a pen, the same size of the point of a pen. And if you're a millimeter off, you go from first to last and you lose. And it's a very, very specific sport. It's very hard too, and whenever we get the chance that people are like, oh wow, man, I really want to come see this, like, come down to the range, come look at what we do, come walk around we have windows now in this new range that we're at, and people can stand outside, and people do stand outside. We get crowds sometimes just kind of stand there and look at us, because it's a cool thing, it's unique.